Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Pan TheOrganizer. So today I'm doing a battle of two of the most popular cordless polishers on the market right now for polishing your paint or doing some paint correction. So the first one is the Flex XFE 15. This is a 15mm stroke random orbital polisher. And the next one is the new Milwaukee. So this one here is the Milwaukee 15mm random orbital polisher. So both of them are dual action polishers. They have 15mm strokes, so they're random orbital, free spinning backing plates. Both have 5-inch backing plates, but what distinguishes them? Is there one that's better than the other? Which one is the right one for you? You're gonna learn all of that and more in this video. By the way, guys, I made sure to include all the links to these tools in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Also, quick disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video. Nobody paid for this video. I ordered both of these polishers myself online. So we'll be going through the price, the build quality, the performance, the battery runtime in real world numbers, because a lot of manufacturers have claims, but do they live up to actual real world numbers? The battery recharge times, the weight of the machines, the noise level they generate, and also the ergonomics. And hopefully we'll draw a conclusion and see if there's one that actually outperforms the other. So let's get started right away with the Flex. This one here, I purchased probably over a year ago at this point, so I have quite a bit of experience. This, by the way, this video is filmed in December 2022. So prices that we'll be talking about today can fluctuate greatly over time. We're still having a lot of supply chain issues around the world, and a lot of prices for stuff fluctuate. So again, all the pricing and the latest stuff is going to be in the description under the video for you guys to check those out. So this one here is, again, this is the Flex XFE 15. Flex is a German brand. And as you can see here on the tag, this one here specifically is made in Germany. So if we're talking about the price, if you're getting it as a tool only, you're looking at roughly 600 USD. And if you're getting it as a kit with the charger and 2 batteries, you're looking at anywhere from 800 to 850 USD at the moment of this recording. Sorry, for the tool only, it was roughly 550 USD, but if you're looking at a kit with the batteries and the charger, that fluctuates a lot. That's anywhere between 600 to 850 USD. So what features does it have? Again, this is a dual action random orbital polisher. So what dual action means? Well, there's the stroke itself, so the backing plate will do circular motions, but also a figure 8 movement around that circle. So everything to imitate the motion of your hands, so less heat accumulation, and there's less dangers of burning through your paint, especially on edges, contrary to rotary polishers, right? So with dual action machines, don't get worried. You're never going to burn through your paint. And so they're quite safe to use. So today we're looking at equivalent models, basically, again, dual action random orbital polishers. Both machines, including this one, have a 5-inch backing plate that's free spinning, as you can tell here. As far as the build quality, again, this is top notch. I've had other Flex polishers before, including my 3401, a classic. That one is a direct drive motor. And so, yeah, it was built like a tank, and this one is no exception. This one here is the lighter of the two. So the weight for the XFE 15 comes in at 6.3 pounds or 2.9 kilos with the battery. So it's definitely the lightest of the two in this comparison. Also, it is the shortest tool. So tool of the two. So from the battery all the way up top, as you can tell, hopefully on camera, if we're looking at these side to side, so from the battery all the way up, you can hopefully tell that the Milwaukee is a longer tool. So the ergonomics are very good, although you'll see with the Milwaukee, I tend to prefer the ergonomics of that one. What about the battery technology? So the batteries on here are 18 volt. The one that comes in the kit are 5 amp hour batteries. I think you can get some 12 amp hours and smaller 2.5 units. The smaller 2.5 amp hours I use for the smaller PXE80 3-inch head polisher that they have in their range. So basically there's a button here up front that you disconnect to remove the battery itself. So here is the battery. There's some indicators here up front. So 4 bars to indicate the charging state or charging level if you want. The battery itself, if you're putting it on medium load, continuous use, which you almost never do. Nobody polishes continuously for over half an hour. You always take a break or look at the work that you're doing, right? Section by section. But if you were to use this under medium load, continuous use, you're looking at anywhere from 35 to 40 minutes, which is actually quite good. And then the recharge time in actual real world performance for the battery is anywhere from 45 to 50 minutes to charge with their charger. They don't have a faster charging option currently, and that's one of the improvements that I'd recommend, is for them to come up with a supercharger like Milwaukee has. So more on that in a few seconds when we get to that tool. But so yeah, if you get the kit, which is what I recommend, bang for buck. So you're getting the charger and 2 batteries. So 35 to 40 minutes of full medium load runtime with this. But I never found batteries to be an issue when I'm actually polishing vehicles. The majority of the vehicles I polish now, detail now, I mean, are more recent or brand new, so they technically usually only need polishing or a very light compound, but nothing too serious. The majority of the time, again, just polishing. And these tools, like if you cycle after I don't know, 1/2 of the vehicle, you can cycle to the other battery and you should be fine, or a few panels, again depending on the use that you're having. But I didn't find that the duration was a limitation on the batteries, so they did good. However, on this, the batteries, they're just full plastic, so there's nothing really to protect them, unlike the Milwaukee that you're going to see in a few seconds. But the build quality, again, very, very good. The ergonomics are decent. I have big hands, so I prefer the ergonomics on the Milwaukee, and you're going to see why in a few seconds, but it's not that bad. You have a choice of 6 speeds here. So this is the speed setting, and they give you this diagram here in the back to explain the speed for each setting, what it correlates to. Traditionally, you have the locking button here, so the trigger lock. So you can start the polisher, lock it in, and that way you can focus on polishing your hand. So I think this is polishing your paint, I mean, so this is where I like the trigger lock to be. It's smoother and better balanced, in my opinion, compared to the Milwaukee. So if that's important for you, it is a big feature, especially if you're polishing for many, many hours. That can translate day in and day out. If you're somebody that does a lot of machine polishing, especially if you're a professional detailer out there, you're probably going to appreciate this, as there's less vibration that I found that translates through the body itself and through your hands. So that can play a big role. If you're polishing for 6, 7, 8 hours a day for 5 days a week, then perhaps this machine would be better suited for you. It tends, again, I find to be smoother and a bit better balanced on this one. It is also the quieter of the 2 machines. So with one of my neighbors, actually, dB meter, we measured the dB level for the Flex under load to be 79 to 80 dB. And so you're going to see, compared to the Milwaukee, that this is the quieter of the 2 machines. So if you're using this for long periods of time, again, the Flex will be smoother and generate less vibrations. So overall, a great job by Flex. They also have, this is the XFE, so that's their dual action random orbital polisher. They also have the XCE cordless option, and that is the direct drive. So that is a completely different technology once again. So you can check that out. But they have very good battery tech over at Flex. But one company that has better technology, as far as I'm concerned, for batteries is Milwaukee. I'll give credit where credit is due. When I was over at my buddy Matt Morman from Obsessed Garage, I was over at his house, his vacation house in Helen, Georgia, in the United States in the month of October. So he was the one who had talked to me about not only Milwaukee tools and also Mike Figueira, so his handyman who has over 30 years of construction experience. So they really like Milwaukee tools. So I bought a bunch of drills, impact drivers, and all that for my collection as well, to replace my Makita tools that I had. So I started creating a collection out of those. But Matt basically told me, did you try the 15 millimeter dual action random orbital polisher that Milwaukee has? I said no. So I test drove it for just a few minutes while we were polishing a vehicle over there. But as soon as I came back, I knew I had to order one myself because there was a lot of things that I actually liked, and I dove into the tech a lot more during that time. So So now that I had more experience with it, I can talk about it even more. First of all, what's the price? So for the tool only, again, prices fluctuate a lot. You're looking at anywhere from 300 to 415 USD. But I recommend that you get it as a kit. So it comes with the polisher, the backing plate, 2 batteries as a kit. And this is their higher output, their new series, the red lithium high output. This is a 6 amp hour battery, so 2 of those, and a rapid charger. But I would recommend that you also get separately a supercharger, because you're going to be cutting down the charging times almost in half. You're more on that in a few minutes. So basically, this is the polisher here. This one, as they state, is made in China. So if that's important for you, it is designed in the USA, but built in China. However, the build quality, I have to say, is awesome. It is just as good, in my opinion, as the Flex is, which says a lot, because Flex and Rupes are probably 2 of the highest end polishers companies that exist out there. They make some classics, and they're the highest quality brands that you can get. So this is the first time that Milwaukee makes polishers, and I think that they did a stellar job. So build quality, absolutely amazing. And there's a few things that really helps. So first of all, if we look at the build here, you're going to see that it has these rubber bumps in the back here and here as well. When you're resting your tool on its back on a surface, for example, that way, well, you're not going to probably damage the tool or damage the plastic. So I thought that was very good. And also their batteries. If you look at the batteries in the bottom, there's this rubberized coating on all the battery there. So if you drop it, less damages, less chances of cracking it as well. This they call their dual action random orbital 15 millimeter machine, because it has a 15 millimeter stroke. This is their backing plate that's perforated, so very good for ventilation and venting the pads. This one too is free spinning, although maybe not as much as the Flex, but it's still dual action random orbital. It has, once again, that 15 millimeter stroke, so identical stroke to the Flex one. What I like about this one, I feel personally that it has a bit better ergonomics. Once again, I have big hands, but I like this. Look at this here, the rubberized grip in the front kind of reminds me a bit of what Rupes does with their polishers, but for grabbing the tool, I feel it just works super well. The body also, if you notice, compared to some other tools or other polishers, is actually quite slim. So it starts here and it tapers down as you're looking at it. It also has the trigger lock on the side right here. So you have your trigger and you have the trigger lock here when you start it. The scale for this one, for the speeds, it's actually in RPMs. So it goes, well, it starts off at 2650 and it goes all the way up to 5100 RPM. So the sweet spot when polishing for me is 4400 RPM, whether you're polishing or compounding. You're going to put it on the lower speeds if you're just applying a liquid wax or a liquid sealant. Check out my paint polishing tutorial for beginners if you want to have all the details on that. But yeah, the design is very good. So this is a longer tool compared to the Flex, but the balance is still very good. The only thing that I find when using it though, you feel a lot more vibrations coming through the body, which translates through the hands. So if you're just polishing 1, 2, 3 hours on a given day, and you're not somebody that does this for a living, or you're not polishing cars every single day, it's fine. But if you polish 7, 8, 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, and you're a paint correction specialist, you might want to consider the Flex instead of the Milwaukee. But again, for their first try, I mean, this is fantastic. Good battery clearance as well, side mounted, just like the Flex, so it won't get into it won't bump onto the paint when you're using it. When we're disconnecting the battery, so we can have a better look here. So this one too has the indicator light up front. So when you press it, you can see the level or state of charge on this one too. The battery for this one, it's going to take for the 6 amp hour, 1 hour to charge if you use the standard rapid charger that comes with it. However, where I find that Milwaukee takes the win is I ordered the supercharger, and that cuts the battery time for recharging in real world conditions to only 30 to 35 minutes. So that's half less. And the actual runtime, if you're using this under medium load and you're under medium load for continuous use, you're looking at roughly half an hour use of this. Milwaukee promised over 50 minutes, I think, for some light use, and like 20-ish minutes for very, very heavy compounding. But yeah, again, if you're using medium load and continuously running, about half an hour for the battery. Again, battery time was absolutely no issue, especially when you have the supercharger. It recharges very, very quickly. And I find that the battery tech over at Milwaukee, especially having spoken to guys like Matt from Obsessed Garage or Mike Figueira, his handyman, the cool thing about them is that they're not only serviceable super easy, because there's a lot of service points for Milwaukee, especially in North America, USA, and Canada, but you can also replace these quickly at your local hardware store. So you go to your local Home Depot or whatever auto parts store or hardware store you have near you. They usually have Milwaukee tools because they'll have all the popular brands, right? Makita, DeWalt, so on and so forth. So they're readily accessible, readily available, and you get another one. You don't even have to worry about ordering this online and waiting a few days. And I think just the overall ecosystem over at Milwaukee, they just have so much offerings as far as tools are concerned. That is pretty cool. So yeah, build quality, the use is good. One thing I did notice though, if you're polishing for a few hours with this, the body here up front, I don't know if this is metal, I think it is. This protects kind of the motor inside there. This part gets super hot, so just be careful when you're having your hands and you're polishing, or if you're getting close to that part, just know that. I find that it generates a bit more heat compared to the Flex. However, where this one also takes the cake is not only the battery technology, but also the power. I definitely felt more correction potential with this. It feels a bit more powerful compared to the Flex, that's for sure. So if you just want straight power, less bogging, right? With dual action polishers, depending on the angle, you try to keep your pad as flat as possible on the surface. But if you apply too much pressure, you're going to get pad stalling on the Flex, whereas this one, you really don't have any pad stalling. It is almost very close to the performance of a direct drive motor. That's how powerful this is. So if you're doing some polishing or even a bit of compounding, you need a bit more power, and you're not polishing for 10 hours, so you're not worried as much about the vibration through the body. This one here is probably the tool for you. It is also less expensive, easily serviceable. More batteries can be found more quickly because you have access again to your local hardware store. By the way, both of these, the Flex and the Milwaukee, are brushless motors. So I know for many that's important. Less failure point or maintenance to do on brushless motors, by the way. And the battery tech is pretty awesome. The noise level in dBs with this, it is quite a bit louder compared to the Flex. So this one is anywhere from 85 to 86 dB compared to the Flex, which was 79, 80 dB. Correct me if I'm wrong, engineers out there, but you double the volume for every 3 dBs that you increase the sound. So yeah, it's significantly louder. However, it's not something that will really bother you. So I wouldn't be too worried, because this overall, honestly, is a fantastic, fantastic tool. So what improvements can they make? I mean, first of all, thumbs up to Milwaukee for coming up with such a good tool for their first time doing a machine polisher for polishing vehicles. That's awesome. So they could come up with a design that will have less vibrations on the body as well. And please, for sure, find a way to make it lighter. This is definitely the heaviest tool of the two. This weighs in at 7.8 pounds or 3.5 kilos for the tool and battery combined. So it is a heavy beast, and you do feel it in your hands. Is it a deal breaker though? No, I find myself reaching out to both of these tools actually a lot because they're cordless. By the way, I made a video recently that's already on my channel for all the cordless tools and equipment that we have for detailing cars, kind of a state of affairs, right, for the end of 2022, where we're at for all the tools and equipment again that we have with cordless technology, and they're getting pretty good at it now. Are corded polishers still needed? I think so, especially if you're a professional, and again, you do 7, 8, 9, 10 hours of polishing a day, you'll probably want to reach out for a Rupes LHR 15 Mark III or a Flex corded polisher as well that they have in their ranges. Those are going to be probably smoother, give you all the performance, no battery anxiety or having having to switch batteries. Not that any of these two tools I felt that I needed more batteries or that I ran out, because you don't. But again, I don't polish for 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. So that depends on what you need. So yeah, there's still some place for corded tools, but the cordless options now are getting very, very good. Both of these have pretty much same features, or specs, should I say. So they're both 15 millimeter strokes. So they're both dual action random orbital. They're both brushless motors. They both have 5-inch backing plates, free spinning. They both have decent batteries, but I think, again, the upper edge for battery technology is good, and the power of the machine is going to go to the Milwaukee 15 millimeter polisher. If you're looking for something smoother, lighter weight, more compact, and still high performance and very good quality, I would go for the Flex in that option. So both tools, honestly, are very good. And yeah, they're very good purchases. Let me know, by the way, are there any other cordless polishers that you guys have tested or that you want me to try and give you my opinion on? I know there's a bunch of them from SPTA that I often see online. My viewers have questions about, and other brands as well that are probably releasing this. And who knows, at the time of this video, there are going to be other versions from other brands as well. I'm waiting for Rupes to come out with something cordless in the 5-inch backing plate, because again, check my video review of their 3-inch backing plate HLR mini cordless polisher. That was a killer polisher, very good one. So they're probably going to release something eventually, but yeah, if there's any other ones, let me know. Drop a comment in the comment section if you want me to test some other stuff, maybe some less expensive models as well, who knows. But both of these, thumbs up once again. So yeah, if you want a better balanced, less vibration polisher that would still do a decent job, that is more compact and more lightweight, I would definitely go for the Flex. If you want more polishing power, more capacity, better battery technology, especially also if you already have Milwaukee tools and you have the ecosystem with the batteries and perhaps the supercharger, it's a no-brainer. Just get this tool. It's less expensive, more powerful. It is still very well balanced, a bit louder and definitely heavier, but still a very, very good polisher to have, right? So by the way, the noise, one thing I wanted to mention, you're going to notice that as far as it's an impression of quality, right? Sometimes it doesn't actually mean that there's one that's better built than the others, because again, both for me, build quality wise, are equivalent. If I had, I can't, it would be nitpicking trying to pick the better one as far as build quality is concerned. They're both top notch, but I'm going to make you listen both of these motors in action. So you can see that the only thing with this one, with the Flex, it doesn't sound as high quality under use compared to the Flex, because the Milwaukee itself, there's a bit of chatter of the backing plate when it slows down to eventually stop. So I'm going to make you listen both of these, and you're going to hear the difference as they're slowing down and stopping. So let's start with the Flex. And now let's move on to the Milwaukee. So I think you heard that right towards the end there was just a little more chatter, and that's pretty much the only difference. But again, build quality, they're both top notch. Let me know, by the way, is there one that really distinguished itself according to your opinion, or if you guys used any one of these, let me know. Drop a comment in the comment section. Again, all the links to these tools will be linked in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. And in the meantime, guys, don't forget, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one.